Welcome back students to the next part in our discussion on vectors. Today we will discuss some important facts of vector addition, subtraction and resolution of vectors. Now we have studied already about the triangle law of vector addition and the parallelogram law of vector addition. Now using the knowledge acquired, today we will study some important facts related to vector addition. Beginning with the first one, vectors of the same nature alone can be added. Like for example, a force vector cannot be added to velocity vector but can be added to force vector only. Second, vector addition is commutative. It states that the sum of the vectors remains the same in whatever order they may be added. This means A plus B will be equal to B plus A. Now how to prove this? For this, refer to the diagram. Let the two vectors A and B be represented by the sides OP and OS of a parallelogram OPQS. We have to join O with Q. As OS is equal to and parallel to PQ and OP is also equal to and parallel to SQ, so we can write down B equal to OS, and that is equal to PQ, and A to be equal to OP vector, that is equal to SQ vector. So in triangle OPQ, OQ is equal to OP plus PQ from triangle law. So we can write down OQ equal to OP plus PQ, that is equal to A plus B. Again, in triangle OSQ, OQ is equal to OS plus SQ, that is equal to B plus A. So from these two equations we find that A plus B is equal to B plus A, as both the expressions give us the magnitude of the same vector OQ. This shows that vector addition is commutative. Vector addition is associative. It states that the sum of the vectors remains the same in whatever grouping they are added. That is, A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. Now for this, let us refer to the picture that you can see alongside. Let the three vectors A, B and C be represented by the sides OP, PQ and QS of a polygon OPQS. Then by polygon law of vectors, OS represents the resultant R in magnitude and direction. Now we can join O to Q and P to S. So from triangle law of vectors, in triangle OPQ, we get OQ equal to OP plus PQ, that is equal to A plus B. In triangle OQS, OS is equal to OQ plus QS, that is equal to A plus B plus C. Now in triangle PQS, PS is equal to PQ plus QS, that is equal to B plus C. In triangle OQS, sorry, OPS, OS is equal to OP plus PS, that is equal to A plus B plus C. So hence, from these two equations we can prove that A plus B plus C, when A and B have been taken together, is equal to A plus B plus C, where B and C have been taken together. So this shows that vector addition is associative. Coming to subtraction of vectors. Subtraction of vector B from a vector A is defined as the addition of vector minus B, that is negative of vector B, to vector A. That is, A minus B is equal to A vector plus minus of B vector. The laws of vector addition, such as triangle law of vectors, parallelogram law of vectors, are equally applicable to the process of subtraction of vectors. Consider the two vectors A and B, as you can see in the figure. To find A minus B, coincide the tail of B with the head of A. Now A and B are represented by sides OP and PQ respectively. Produce QP backward. Up to S, and cut PS equal to PQ. PS is equal to PQ. Produce QP backward and cut PS equal to PQ. Now PS will represent minus of P. Join O to S. Now in triangle OPS, A minus B is equal to A plus minus of B, that is equal to OP plus PS, and that is equal to OS vector. We have used triangle law of vectors. Thus, the difference of two vectors is represented by OS, which is the resultant vector of A and minus B. So if theta is the angle between vector A and vector B, then the angle between vector A and minus, that is negative of vector B, will be equal to 180 degree minus theta. Therefore, we can write down vector R to be equal to root over A square plus B square plus 2AB cos of 180 minus theta, and tan of beta to be equal to B sine of 180 minus theta divided by A plus B cos of 180 minus theta. Now here you should note that vector subtraction does not follow commutative law as well as associative law. that is A minus B is not equal to B minus A, and A minus B minus C is not equal to A minus B minus C. Let us discuss some examples of subtraction of two vectors. Now, if a particle is colliding with the wall in a direction normal to its surface and is reflected just in opposite direction with same momentum, then P1 is equal to P2, and let this be equal to P, and P2 is equal to plus P, P1 is equal to minus P. Therefore, change in momentum, that is delta P, is equal to P2 minus P1, that is equal to P, and minus of minus P, that is equal to twice of P. A particle is moving on a circular path of constant radius. To find the change in its velocity when it completes half of the revolution, we note V2 is equal to plus V, and V1 is equal to minus V. Then change in velocity delta V is equal to V2 minus V1, that is equal to V minus of minus V, that is equal to twice of V. A particle is moving with velocity V towards northward direction, changes its direction and moves towards eastward with the same speed. To find the change in its velocity, V1 is equal to ON, where V1 is equal to V and V2 is equal to NE, V2 is equal to V. Therefore, change in velocity delta V is equal to V2 minus V1, that is equal to V2 plus minus of V1. That is equal to NE plus NO, and that is further equal to NA. For the magnitude, this will be equal to V1 square plus V2 square plus 2V1 V2 cos of 90 degree, that is equal to root over V square plus V square, and that is further equal to V root 2. Tan of beta is equal to mod of V1 by V2, and that is equal to V by V, that is further equal to 1, or we can write down beta to be equal to 45 degree. Thus, the direction of delta V will be along southeast direction. Zero vector. It is that vector which has zero magnitude and an arbitrary direction. A zero vector that is represented by arrow over the number 0 is also called null vector. A zero vector being of zero magnitude must be represented by arrow of zero length. The direction of arrowhead of a zero vector represented by zero length cannot be specified. Hence, the zero vector has an arbitrary direction. Coming to the illustrations of zero vector. When a vector is multiplied by 0, the result is a zero vector. That is 0 multiplied by a vector A, that is equal to 0 vector. The result of addition of a vector to its own negative vector is a zero vector. That is vector A plus minus of vector A, that is negative, is equal to a zero vector. The velocity vector of a stationary particle is a zero vector. The acceleration vector of an object moving with a uniform velocity is a zero vector. The displacement vector of a stationary object over any arbitrary interval of time is a zero vector. The position vector of the origin of coordinate axis is a zero vector. What about its properties? The addition or subtraction of zero vector from a given vector does not alter the given vector. That is, a vector plus zero vector is equal to a vector. A vector minus zero vector is also equal to a vector. The multiplication of a non-zero real number n with a zero vector is again a zero vector. Thus, n multiplied by zero vector is also equal to zero vector. If n1 and n2 are two different non-zero real numbers where n1 is not equal to n2, then the relation n1a is equal to n2b can hold only if both a and b are zero vectors and are not parallel or anti-parallel vectors. A zero vector has a lot of physical significance. It is useful in describing the physical situation involving vector quantities. Resolution of vectors. It is the process of splitting a single vector into two or more vectors in different directions, which together produce the same effect as is produced by the single vector alone. The vectors into which the given single vector is splitted are called component vectors. In fact, the resolution of a vector is just opposite to composition of vectors. Now, let a vector R be represented by OQ, as you can see in the figure. Let vector A and vector B be represented by OP and PQ, so that OQ is equal to OP plus PQ. OQ is equal to OP plus PQ. You are using triangle law of vector addition, so you can write down R equal to vector A plus vector B. Then vector A and vector B are the component vectors of vector R. Rectangular components of a vector in a plane. When a vector is split into two component vectors at right angles to each other, the component vectors are called rectangular components of a vector. For this, let us refer to this picture. Consider a vector A, as you can see in the picture, represented by OR, has to be resolved into two rectangular component vectors along the directions of x-axis and y-axis. For this, from O, draw two axes OX and OY at right angles to each other. From point R, drop RP and RQ perpendicular to OX and OY. Then OP is equal to AX and OQ is equal to AY are the rectangular components of vector A. Here PR is equal and parallel to OQ. Hence PR also represents AY in magnitude and direction. Now from triangle law of vector addition, we can write down OR equal to OP plus PR. So we can write down A vector to be equal to AX plus AY vector. So if I cap and j cap be the unit vectors along OX and OY directions respectively, then we can write down AX equal to AX I cap and vector AY equal to AY and j cap. So now from equation 1 we get vector A equal to AX I cap plus AY j cap. Now angle POR is equal to theta. So we can write down AX equal to OP and AY equal to OQ equal to PR. So in right angle triangle ORP, OP by OR is equal to cos of theta. OP by OR is equal to cos of theta. So we can write down OP to be equal to OR cos of theta. So further we get AX equal to A cos of theta. Similarly, PR by OR is equal to sine of theta, which implies that PR is equal to OR sine of theta. So therefore AY is equal to A sine of theta. Also, OR square is equal to OP square plus PR square. So we can write down A square to be equal to AX square plus AY square. So A will be equal to root over AX square plus AY square. Tan of theta will be equal to PR by OP, and that is equal to AY by AX.